Welcome back to the Dire Bear Adventuring Company. It is Saturday night, which means that, like clockwork, death, and taxes, there is no escaping another session of the Stolen Cities. I am joined by my lovely players and compatriots. We have Maddie as Venolin, Christian as Ralogan, Tim as Cross, and as always, Lucas as the lovable automaton, Jason.
That was great.
Thank you. Thank you for your service to this country.
What do you mean?
Not even from my country, and I thank you for your service to this country. Okay, so when we last left our adventurers, the party had just defeated Nelahir within the Court of Intent, sending him screaming back to his throne world on another section of the Feywilds. The court thanked you quite profusely, but was about to decline your request to
Alex, are you
have
okay?
Cross accompany you on your journey, when Cross's father finally spoke up, giving you guys permission to take Cross with you. You guys just returned from the Court of Intent back to Bryant Park from where you came in, only to find that you're about a day late for your appointment with Vedran.
Day late and $1 short.
Dollars don't exist anymore.
A day late and a vial of blood short.
I still prefer dollars.
I forgot that chat is still named Epic Game Store.
And
So, what are peeps thinking at the moment, given that it is a beautiful evening? It's like just fading into sunset at the moment. And, you guys ever so slightly made a date and didn't show. One does not simply ghost the mayor.
we should probably buy flowers.
Understood.
To be fair, he kind of ghosted us first by just,
Dying?
ceasing to exist and then vanished and leaving us with a vague countdown timer. Just saying.
Still think we should probably buy flowers.
I mean, are we courting this man?
I don't know.
Like, is that why we're buying him flowers?
Well, if that's
Or
in
death.
character, Jason's gonna look for a flower shop.
Mm-hmm.
Why are you listening to me? I'm a dummy!
Because you
Jason
opened
doesn't know
your
that.
mouth.
He is an automaton. He doesn't understand sarcasm.
Or stupidity.
We need to update his logic board.
Alternatively, you could just stop giving stupid suggestions. I feel like that one would be easier.
Impossible.
I really feel like that suggestion is a lot easier. Spaz.
Anyhow. So, I guess we should probably go to see if he's willing to see us now or make another appointment.
It wouldn't hurt.
He seemed like he was completely understandable that, after all, we did have other things we needed to do.
And it's not like we did this on purpose. The time works strangely in the Fey courts.
Hmm.
Nope, we're off. Yes, we're off.
Oh, thank you. You guys head to the station, and you're immediately met by that same guard captain from earlier. He just kind of looks at you guys rather sternly. He's like, do you know how many people literally kill for an appointment with the Lord Vedran?
At least 3?
You're lucky he's more understanding than we are. And he kind of waves the guards off the door, and they open the door for you guys.
Thank you very much. Apologies for the delay.
I'm not apologizing for being stupid to this guy.
Maybe you should. Or better yet, apologize to us for being stupid.
Keep it up.
Really quickly, is anybody besides Jason carrying anything that is silvered?
I think he wound up silvering my rapier.
Yes, I believe so.
Nope, I don't even have silver coins.
Me neither.
Okay. This place seems to strongly resemble some of the other sorts of way stations that you guys encountered on your way out of the island before coming up here. However, this place is inlaid with a myriad of different works of art. Some proper paintings hung on walls, some embossed into stained glass that littered the ceilings and floors. This place looks more akin to an art museum than some kind of place where you would be transporting around. Nonetheless, you guys are transported down a series of stairs toward what looks like another rail station. It's very similar to the one you guys took on foot to get outside of the island. However, it is here that you are led toward what looks kind of like a service door, not unlike the one that you guys would use to get to Jason's chambers back in Maddenguard. And it is here that there are another 2 guards who ask for your permission to search you.
I'm gonna keep my mouth shut in this one.
You have my permission.
I don't mind.
Go ahead. I guess.
If we say no, what happens?
You'll have to walk through that door, and he points to the server's door. And if the door says no, you ain't gonna like it.
Hmm.
Loving the sound of that.
Someone say something before I open my mouth, please. I don't want to say it.
I feel like at this point you should just say it, Spaz.
Fuck it. So, why won't we like it? Is it gonna be a hallway of light? Little death trap where we won't be able to escape?
Less death trap, more couple thousand volts of not fun.
Ah, here I thought you were trying to turn me into cubed fish.
No, I think they might be going for a little bit something akin to fried. Fine.
Jason will basically extend his joints and kind of like sort of semi-disassemble his armor, just open everything up so they have a full view of his skeleton and all the innards and all that.
Okay. And they kind of they pat each of you down, not really in any kind of invasive way, just more checking for any kinds of holsters and secret compartments and stuff like that. And in the process, Cross and Ral, you guys are fine. But Jason and Ven, one of the officers takes note of your rapier and the big fucking like softball-sized nugget of silver inside of Jason's chest plate. This, yeah, you're gonna need to leave those up here.
Understood.
Of course.
These are Lord Vedran's private chambers, and of all the places in the city, I need to word this better than I was about to say. I need to somehow word this sentence better with, despite his proclivity for violence, he does not bring it to the bedroom.
Good night, everybody.
We've been live for 14 minutes and that's the end of session. Goodbye.
Wash your hands, wear a mask, be cut. No. But in all seriousness, he tends to prohibit fighting within his private chambers.
You wish for me to discard my silver battle axe and silver hand axe. They are in this other compartment right here.
Chink. Any and all Silvered objects, weapon or otherwise, would be appreciated.
Understood. And he releases the silver objects.
He will relinquish the silver objects that she has on her person.
Okay. The moment they are sure that none of you are carrying any silver, they open the door. And the moment they open it, those of you with more acute hearing can hear a very faint buzzing around the fringes of the door. Has anyone chosen to withhold a silver object?
No.
Cool.
Cross and I
Great.
don't even have silver coins.
To be fair, I don't really think any of us... Well, I guess we would have silver, because that's still the currency that trades down there, but...
Venelin, you walk through the threshold first. And while you can feel this kind of gentle hum, almost like static electricity, making your hair stand on end as you walk through, nothing else happens. It is a very brief kind of that at worst feels slightly discomforting.
And where would Vedran be? Inside of these...
You make your way down this flight of stairs, rest of the party as well. And you guys find yourselves in this massive circular room. The room seems almost to be in orbit around this wall of glass containing within it what looks like a massive orb of raw energy. The orb itself seems to resemble just a perfect sphere made of something clear, perhaps glass, but you doubt glass would be so durable as to withstand the raw magic coursing behind that thing. And in the very center, you can see something floating in it, a very dark, deep red, almost the color of blood. From this central housing, dozens of thick metal cables seem to extend outwards along both the ceiling and floor, channeling magic from this housing out to what you can only assume to be all corners of this island. The room itself seems to be shaped into segments, each of which being cordoned off by what looks like a small wall that... passive perceptions?
11.
13.
15.
Sorry, Cross.
And blind.
Sorry, Cross. Jason and Ral, you guys immediately notice that the walls segmenting this area look to be connected to some kind of mechanism that allows them to rise and fall, meaning they are retractable. One section appears to have a series of monitors as well as what looks kind of like a command center, not dissimilar from the one you noticed by the teleporter. This central section that you walk in on appears to have what looks like a lounge table with a couple of chairs around it, as well as what looks kind of like a safe that you would put weapons in. The chamber to your left contains what looks like a very lavish-looking bed, a small bookshelf, a night table, and a chair with a secondary table directly in front of that housing in the center. While the back segment contains a series of tall bookshelves, as well as a table with a series of books strewn about. The only person in this room seems to be looking down at a book at that table in front of the housing. And from his height, his skin tone, and the general lack of surprise given off by him as you guys enter, you can very easily glean to be veteran. Upon the first footstep into his abode, he closes the book, setting it on the table, turns in his chair and goes, "Well, aren't you all fashionably late?"
You have our sincerest apologies. We got a little tied up dealing with the Fey courts.
How is Mela here?
A pain in the ass.
As always. I found in my tribulations with him that a rather decent flood of negative energy tends to shut him up for a moment.
Well, I mean, so does stealing a book of his and then setting it on fire.
Audacious. I commend it.
Yes, well, if only we could have grabbed one more. Not that it matters.
Now I believe you said your name was Jason when we met, was it not?
It is indeed. At least that is what people call me.
I've never died by silver burning. I want to thank you for that.
Oh, you are very welcome.
And this goes to the rest of you, too. If you ever come up with some very elaborate and rather fun way of killing me, please do let me know.
Understood.
You should know that the Fey Court of Chaos may be returning to assault the city.
And I wouldn't have a problem with that if they just made an appointment.
I'm sorry, made an appointment to assault the city.
You have no idea just how many people waltz into that castle trying to kill. It's coming to a point where I kind of relish the ones who actually manage to pull it off, rare though they are these days. It's part of why I let your friend here do the job, as well as to save myself any sort of directives stored within his psyche coming online. I've more than ample experience with the V series of automatons.
Vedran, where do you store your heart?
Well, quite simple, actually. And he points with his thumb behind him.
Is it at that glass case?
Yeah.
Ah! Fuck!
Specifically at that that small floating red glob in the center of it?
Mm-hmm. If you really wanted to die that badly, destroying that usually works. However, I have a feeling that you're about to tell me that that is tied to how the city stays afloat.
Most people that come in here kind of come to terms with the futility of a struggle to kill me rather quickly. My fixation on death is one that I more entertain as a hobby than a serious endeavor at the moment. After all, eventually bringing about peace on Earth is going to require that I stick around for it.
You need a better hobby.
As much as it pains me to admit this, I'm inclined to agree.
I don't know, I could think of what stranger hobbies like carrying around jars of breeding pool juice.
That's not a hobby!
You, Fishman, Ralakan, was it?
Yes.
Did you know that millions of years ago, there were creatures 20 times your size with triple the rows of teeth? They could simply eviscerate things. It was rather stunning from what I've heard. What I would give to see something like that.
Why the shit would you tell him that?
That's all I need to know, that fish are superior to birds.
But they're not!
They're not.
The little wins.
Let me have this, Madeline! Let me have this, damn it!
Mind you, they were slow as snails and dumb as nails, but boy, could they destroy things.
Never mind.
You know what? I'll take that. That's fine.
If I may interject, I recall you talking about me possibly going back to my primary directive. If that were to happen, is there a way I can avoid that? As there is a possibility, though I'm not quite certain, if I would maintain having this sort of sentience, if you will.
Well, unfortunately, to my knowledge, only one of you managed to break his programming of his own free will. And that would have been the sixth, whose designation was the Vanguard.
See.
Now, I believe V6 is overseeing some training operations up near what used to be Central Park, if you wanted to head up there.
Very interesting.
Then again, being the latest and hopefully final iteration, you might have certain synergies with the rest of your ilk that I've not planned for.
Good. If I may ask, such as what?
Hmm. And he kind of waves you guys to the opposite end of the room, kind of where that command center is.
Jason will hobble on forward.
And as you guys get there, he kind of sits in this chair in front of this, like, absolute rabble of computers. And pulls up on his central monitor what looks like a massive sort of dossier that reads atop V-Series active models from the build notes of Veltrin. You guys remember finding a piece of this journal somewhere downstairs on the surface. And I will post these for you in chat. Boop. Blop, blop, blop. Blop, 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 blop. That's one. There's a second one. Give me a moment. Who the heck? Oh. You guys are shown a series of information about all 7 prior V models. From the ones you knew about already, the vision and the voice, and their functions which you are already aware of, to the other 4 that are active up here.
Fascinating.
Jason, as your eyes flash over V1, V2, and V5, an image of your chassis sort of like comes over your HUD, flashing over different areas of your body. As you sort of start to read Vs 1 and 2, the image of your chassis on your HUD appears to sort of like glow around your head area. Whereas, as you start to read VLC on V5, these 2 sort of like hinge bits near your shoulder blades are glowing on the HUD as well.
Oh. That is interesting. Is this to say I'm borrowing elements from the other V models?
Less that and more that you, like Six, were made with the express purpose of being able to integrate the other V models.
Indeed.
You are, to use a term that I feel might be a bit objectifying, modular.
So, if I got this right, you're saying that Jason can link up with the others and make himself more stronger. Or give
Something
him
like
other
that.
abilities?
Yes, quite. Unfortunately, the other V-Series models are currently sort of occupied defending the city.
Still. But I do appreciate the information. Perhaps I will seek out V6, and when they are with free time, see if I can experiment with this modular function.
Hmm.
After kind of analyzing all the information that was given to him, his little red ocular device will just kind of like flash green. Information saved. Thank you very much.
Ralakan, right?
Yeah.
You seem distressed.
That easy, huh? Yeah.
You find yourself within the company of immortals. It tends to put one in that much of a state.
Well, turns out I've got even less than mortals. As you were, if you were to describe it like that. I've got like what, maybe 20 years left?
Given the history of Simic hybrids, it could be less.
Yeah, not much I can do. Just gotta sit back and do what I can, make my mark.
I could give you more time, if you wish.
Say what now?
Exactly what I said. If you desired more time on this world to make your mark, as you said, as I have endeavored myself, I would have no problem empowering you to do so.
Ral kind of looks at Venel and betray my friend, gain possible immortality on one hand. On the other, remain the fish friend that we all know and love.
I mean, you'd still be the fish friend. You're not gonna stop being the fish friend just because you gain immortality, man. You're still gonna be the fish friend. You're just gonna be the fish friend that doesn't die.
Mm-hmm.
But what is the price of immortality?
I mean, I'm sure your friend here might object. Her family has spent generations hunting my kind.
And therein lies the rub, as it were.
Ralakan,
Yep.
do not let my prejudices sway you in the manner in which you wish to live your life. If you want more time, and this is a way to get more time, take it. But make sure it's what you want. Not something born out of desperation. Besides, if you turn evil, I can just kill you myself.
This is a logical and efficient way of gaining more life.
I'm gonna hold you to that then.
Oh, I would take great pleasure in ending your vampiric life.
I have a feeling you would just take pleasure in ending my normal life.
No, you're gonna do that before I pass anyway. But see, death comes for us all, eventually. And if your death happens to be at my hands, well, then at least you know it's done right and, well, with care.
Alright, let's do it.
But just remember, Ralakan, a toe out of line, and your heart is gonna be crushed in my hands.
Then you better take good care of it.
Before we commit to any sort of decision, not that I don't mean to butt in on a topic that I really don't know much about, but aren't Ralakan's people sort of artificially created?
Yep.
Less
What?
artificially created and more created out of experiments with already living flesh.
What would that do to him, and could it perhaps end badly for him?
Each simic hybrid, from my knowledge, is, despite the experiments that formed them, their own life form, independent of any that came before. As such, though admittedly I've never turned one, it's the reason that vampirism would not suit your body ill.
So there's a chance it might not even work. We'll do it. What's the worst that could happen?
On one hand, gold. On the other hand, painful, agonizing failure.
Ah!
As a certain dwarf friend had told me before, certainty of death, small chance of success. What are we waiting for?
We're really doing this.
We're really doing this. This
I
was
need to
not
take this.
the
I need to take
character.
this time to tell you that in my original run of this game, Veteran delivered such an argument for the idea that time was the oldest and most unifying enemy of mortality that the party's moral compass almost rejected humanity and became a vampire.
Wow.
You mean to tell me that your party almost became a living JoJo reference?
Mm-hmm.
Reject my humanity, Venolin.
I reject my fishhood.
Hey, like I said, one toe out of line, and I'm gonna kill you myself. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. You're dead. At her hands. And she'll get creative about it too. She might drown you in your breeding pool first.
Gills.
I know. Just, she's aware. She's gonna give you one last go in the breeding pool, and then kill you.
That doesn't
She's
sound very
thoughtful
good.
like that.
That doesn't sound very good. Phrasing.
Ralakan, I know that, this does mean a lot to you, and I know it's been rather hard on you since you learned about your impending mortality. So I'm not really going to try and talk you out of it. I just would request that you maybe think about it first. After all, one of the more nicer things about, well, I hate to say the word shorter lifespan, is the brilliance of what the candle does when it's lit. And let you appreciate it more when it goes out.
I think it's more not the candle, but a match. I'm only on for so long. A candle would be a human. I'm just a quick flick, and that's it. If it was anyone else, I'd argue that I would agree. It would make more sense to just not do this. But who knows how much time I have left?
Very well. I'll respect you. All will respect your decision, no matter what it is.
Thank you.
Love that.
Yeah. That was heavy.
So are we doing this?
We're doing it.
What will the neighbors think?
Who cares?
The veteran takes you back to his chair in front of the housing and sort of sits you down in it. And he kind of takes off his cloak sort of draping it over your shoulders to give you a sense of warmth. And you just take in the kind of strange, calming beauty of this thing in front of you. This swirling core of raw, untapped magical energy being channeled into every square inch of this massive, hulking stone floating through the sky. And it almost distracts you when you feel the pinch as his teeth sink. In a brief flash that only stays behind your eyelids for the smallest fraction of a second, you can see a river of blood. In the place of that swirling storm of energy, you can see blood flowing in all directions. Around, up, down, side, through, even from you, into that faint black glob in the center of it. You can see blood reach out from it almost like a tendril towards your neck where the teeth made impact. And the moment you feel it touch you, you find yourself back in the chair as a gentle, cold sensation drifts down into your extremities to calm your body from the pain. He extracts his mouth from your neck after no more than a few seconds. And then he says, "From here, all it'll take is time. My chambers are open to you throughout the process. And if you let the guards know, they'll get you anything you so desire. Food, drink.
Just a question.
Hmm.
How long can I stay without drink?
Given your metabolism, I'm sure at least a few days. 4, 5, probably.
Alright. Alright. We'll see if this took.
How are you feeling, Malachi?
Cold. Real cold.
Is there anything I can do to warm things up for you?
Afraid not.
Understood. Congratulations on your developing vampirism.
Again, we'll see if it took.
I don't see why it wouldn't. You're part human, aren't you?
He then explains that the process will take about a day to complete, but that you will see the majority of the physical changes by the time you wake up tomorrow.
You hear that, Lucas? You get to do more artwork.
and do Vampire Shark Boy.
I
Into
mean,
it.
I still look the same.
I mean, he already has the teeth.
Yeah, you're right.
Just some are just like the canines are a bit more pronounced. Do sharks have canines? Questions for later.
I mean, if it's anything like an actual vampire shark, you'll have like a big ol' pointy nose.
Yeah, I'll have like the big pointy nose and like the fucked up teeth.
And that is imagery I cannot get out of my head now. Thank you.
Yeah, that's what we needed.
Okay. I feel like I came in here with questions, and now all this has sort of made me forget that. Um.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm sorry. My apologies. I'm just drawing a blank. I wasn't really a part of the discussion when we first made the appointment to talk with you. But I thought I was trying to think of something. Forgive me, these past few days have been a bit of a whirlwind for me. And no offense intended, but this was the last thing I was thinking of. Is there...
Well, fear nothing from me. Any enemy of Nelahir's was a friend of mine.
Indeed. Venelin, do you remember what we were supposed to talk to him about?
Well, we
I'm
were supposed
sorry.
to talk to him about how his city remains afloat, but I think I've already figured that out.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, it's tied directly to his heart, so...
Hmm.
Which means
I'm
killing
gonna be
him
right
crashes
back.
the city.
So, what was that, Maddie?
So killing him crashes the city.
Killing the source of the problem causes the problem that causes even more problem.
Yep.
Dominoes.
Moral conundrums are never my strong suit.
You just agreed to become a vampire. Do not throw moral conundrums around us, please.
I agreed to become a vampire because I was literally going to die in the next 2 decades because apparently Simic hybrids have short lifespans.
Plot twist, whatever journal you read just forgot a zero.
God, could you
Plot-
imagine?
Plot twist that he may have actually, like, planted that book for you to find it.
Vedran, is there possibly anything that we might be able to do for you while we attempt to figure out what our next move is while avoiding Nella here?
Hmm. I suppose there are a few things. Nella here has, quite intentionally, I would dare to think, manipulated the Artemisians into executing an attack on the city. The Artemisians have their own myriad of ways of entering here quite undetected, and while I can police the areas from which they might emerge, their abilities and weaponry remain something of a thorn in the side of even my most stalwart guards.
Well, I highly doubt they'll do anything while their crown prince is here, so that is of small comfort anyway.
Don't think so, sure. The Artemisians of the Court of Chaos, even though I'm here, they will probably find some sort of arbitrary reason to justify their actions and scoop me away just as the city's about to fall.
And don't forget, no longer bound to the Court of Intent to find and keep you safe. They may not be so inclined now that you've rather thrown in your lot with me, it seems.
Well, that's not quite true, because he hasn't thrown his lot in with you. He is fulfilling a promise he made to Jason, which is not the same thing.
And when have you known Kieran Halloran to make a difference? Rather, to know the difference.
Is that Cross?
No, Kieran Halloran is the head of the Artemisians.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, there's a lot of Elvish names and I'm trying to remember who's who.
Oh, Conan is Cross.
Wasn't the Artemisians the Court of Intent?
No,
Mm-mm.
no, they're the Court of
They
Chaos.
work for the Court of Chaos,
sorry.
but the Court of Intent kind of like hired them to find Cross.
Right, okay, sorry.
Kieran is the dude with the lightning javelin.
Oh, what a dick.
He also kind of showed up to us, like, toward the end of last session, telling us that just because we worked together to stop Nella here before didn't change anything, and that he was still going to go through with his plans about destroying the city.
Ah, yes.
Farron's the one that turned into a dragon. Keisha is the one who nearly sniped your fucking head off. And,
Yeah.
and Patricia's the one who apparently can turn into a hellhound at some point.
Okay.
If I could perhaps make a suggestion, perhaps maybe, I'm not entirely sure of how to put this, but moving the city so when the inevitable does happen and they do something crazy, innocent people don't die. I mean, you have it floating above the clouds here. I'm sure you could probably move it somewhere more sensible. At least temporarily until the Artemisian problem is dealt with.
Hmm. I'll see about moving it further out to sea so as not to endanger the surface world below.
Hmm.
However, that will also mean that should something happen and the city fall, every vampire up here will most certainly die.
Hmm.
Well, I understand that. But putting things into perspective here, at least in my mindset, if something happens and the city falls, it's not just going to be what's left on that island where the city once was, but probably everything surrounding it too, even beyond the bridges. But I understand your feelings.
I can move the island. Moving the island is not the issue. The issue is the moral conundrum of endangering every human life versus endangering all the vampires up here. This society that I've built up here is the culmination of centuries of work. And it's something I would like to maintain to some extent.
Hmm.
Kronos takes a moment to sort of just mentally reflect at literally not even going to bother repeating himself on his argument that he made to Ralakan about immortality. Because this is exactly what he was talking about.
Think about an entire world where humans and vampires and other creatures of the night can live, can coexist together. Rather than devolve into this savage land where everybody is living in fear of the night creatures, of the vampires, of each other even.
People will always be afraid of each other. If two fish can look at each other and be scared of what they see, what makes you think two smart people can think, oh, this other person that looks nothing like me is probably going to be my friend? Fish are dumb. You expect people to be smart?
But yes, Relican, that's kind of the point of having sentience.
Yeah, okay.
Like, this is the reason we've been evolved, sir. So that we can come up with the determination that meeting somebody who looks a certain way is not dangerous.
Man, we're having like every single civil rights allegory ever. I'm really writing a fucking campaign today.
I'm sorry?
The only thing that I could think of as a most likely favorable solution to getting rid of Kieran is he he does not give up. And that's one of his more admirable traits.
Val just like, did you just compliment the guy that threw a lightning bolt at you?
Fact of the matter is, the only way to get him to go away is most likely through letting him win or making him think he's won.
Do you think one such as Kieran, as psychopathic as he is, though honor-bound as he is, would agree to a trial of combat?
Actually,
Yeah, he
yes,
probably
actually.
Why wouldn't he just make an appointment? And
I'm pretty sure
Court
that
of
nobody knows.
Chaos!
Also, I'm pretty sure that
You want
nobody
him
knows.
to agree to bureaucracy.
Prince Boy's got a point.
Also, I don't even think he knows he needs to make an appointment. We only found out because there's 4 of us. He's got a damn army. What would he care? He's just gonna march into the city and kill people as he desires. Or as it would create the most chaos.
He's a fuck like that.
I wouldn't go that far. At least you get a satisfactory end out of that.
phrasing.
I didn't go there. I was calling him a fuck out of
I know what you were
disrespect.
doing that doesn't change what Medalin's response is.
You know what? I at least made fun of my own saying, despite his proclivity towards violence, he wants to keep it out of the bedroom. Y'all just embrace the horny. It was.
Lizard braining.
I mean, did you expect anything else from me? Really?
Listen, I'm not going to pretend like I've got an idea or a plan. This is just what I know about Kieran, and what possibly someone as well. You seem to be smart enough to be able to make an entire city fly by using your heart. I would think that maybe you might be able to come up with a plan that doesn't really involve us having to do something unspeakable.
Well, if he is both so honor-bound and so intent on destroying this city, then I guess it would be uncouth of me to rely on you to defend it.
Pick us as your champions.
No, I believe your friend Cross has a point. And you see Vedran sort of stride across and open up one of the cabinets alongside his bed to reveal a wardrobe. He sort of flicks his hand, and the blanket rises from his bed to kind of cover him, as you can only assume that he is changing. Which takes him significantly faster than one would expect. However, it seems that he's able to move things with his mind. And when he emerges from behind it, he is wearing what you could almost mistake for a suit. If said suit were not coated in what looked like the most absolutely decadent armor any of you have ever seen. His cloak is adorned with 2 beautiful onyx pauldrons plated with gold. The suit itself, despite having the look of yeah, shut the fuck up. I'm sorry. Oh fuck. The suit itself, though maintaining the contemporary look of a rather dashing suit, looks as though it is imbued with several different magics that give it at least the look and weight of something much heavier than it appears. He seems to be wearing these plated gauntlets and greaves around his extremities to protect them specifically, as well as a belt holding what looks like a very ornate-looking dagger with several different gems inlaid along the blade. Did I say dagger? I meant rapier. I don't know why I said dagger. It's a rapier. There is no top hat. He does not wear a top hat.
Oh.
Unfortunate. You should totally wear it.
He can fly. It would fall off.
We live in a world where a magic floating version of New York is being held together by a rock and a heart. He can make a top hat that can float alongside with him.
You know what's fast? Shut the fuck up and get out of Edelyn's room, okay?
Yeah, bitch, it's my house.
What do you mean?
This joke is never getting old.
No, it is not. I still can't believe it took you that long when he described your own fucking house.
When he said library in a building, I'm like, okay, there's no way.
Described your own fucking house.
I
Where would I
described-
fit a library in this shithole?
I described in detail that echoey ass first floor atrium.
But you love the reverb.
I do. I do. Ah.
Well, I guess you can go with that.
I hope he's prepared for what he finds when he comes here.
Well, you should probably issue your challenge.
Hmm. There is something else I wanted to ask.
Hmm.
Has there been any new information about Alzin?
Well, fortunately, thanks to your exploits at the Colosseum, Alzin walked directly into a trap. Now, unfortunately, having amassed a small army to hold his own, he actually managed to withstand it. He seems to be using the Colosseum as a base of operations. However, he hasn't been able to do much with it since acquiring it. What troops I had there remained under constant guard of the place to prevent any of his troops from escaping through the typical entrances and exits. The only other way he's capable of getting out is to return to the wastes.
And he's not going to do that. Not with what
The
he
last
believes.
place he's going to go is back where he started.
Exactly. Well, if you would like, I suppose we could take care of that while you deal with the fake Court of Chaos. After all, I'm sure he's got a score to settle with, one of our own anyway.
Oh, I'm sure. And he kind of flicks his hand once again, and that book that he was reading earlier floats into his hands. Now, if you'll excuse me, and you see him kind of rip a page out of the book and place it on the floor in front of him. I'm going to go make a psychopath very angry.
Okay.
On your endeavors. Thank you for the information.
Before you go, I just wanted to ask something.
Hmm.
Would lightning javelins be considered new and interesting?
Quite actually, I've never seen a storm javelin up close before.
Have fun.
Oh, don't forget the dragons.
Did you say dragons?
Yeah, one of the people from the fake Court of Chaos can turn into a dragon. Stomped on me real
You know how
hard.
long it's been since I've seen a dragon? Actually, dragons look even closer to those ridiculously tall, stupid lizards.
Are you talking about dinosaurs?
Probably. Mind you, it's been a good couple of centuries since I've read about them.
Pretty sure there's a good thousands of them just wandering the Feywilds.
Oh my.
I may have to return home for a moment. Then again, I've never been killed outside of this plane before.
And they do seem rather dangerous. It would be most likely incredibly unwise and reckless to just have one summoned here in the city.
At the very least, do so after the events of Kirin.
Yes, of course. Terribly dangerous and extremely foolhardy, and not something I would ever do.
Four sessions later.
Just, I mean, your real thoughts? I'm absolutely gonna do this.
You know what? Yeah, I'll insight check that one. That is a 21.
The 21 to check if he has the power to cure cancer or summon dinosaurs.
Does he seem like the type of person that is that damn curious that he would, in fact, just summon dinosaurs in the middle of his city just to see if they could kill him?
He absolutely seems like the kind of person who would summon a dinosaur in the middle of a city just to see if it would kill him.
Yeah, fair enough. The bright side, the way summoning magic, I believe, works is that, nom, and then the dinosaur just kind of goes poof because the summoner is dead. Unless he forcibly pulled it here through teleportation magic instead of just a summoning spell.
Well, let's be real. Let's be real. You honestly think that he's not gonna do that?
Well, on the bright side, you were the one that inspired him.
I mentioned nothing about dinosaurs. Okay.
Your existence alone got him thinking about them.
It's your fault you look like a slimy little dinosaur.
Listen,
Also,
just because my face looks like a goddamn Trudon doesn't mean that you can say that about me.
Also, I still find it incredibly hilarious because considering what dinosaurs ended up evolving into, and yet he's comparing you to them.
The Iron E. The Iron E.
Anyhow, okay, we'll go deal with Alzen then. I take it that these 6 would have information for us of how to get there? I'm assuming the teleport won't bring us there anymore since we broke it.
No, it won't. Well, rather, you destroyed the control center, not the teleporter itself. Theoretically, you could teleport directly from here to there. However, you'd find yourself smack dab in the middle of enemy territory.
And probably in an ambush that he's already been waiting because he would expect an attack like that. Just a quick question, Vedra. I know I seem to have a lot of them, but the way they made it sound like was that Alzen was very much highly intelligent and inventive. Did he help you with anything?
Well, yes, these cable housings, and he sort of like waves to the various cables that are running through this room, as well as the core housing himself were his design originally. I helped gather the materials, both by commissioning their acquisition as well as acquiring some of them myself, but he was very much the creative mind behind most of this room's production.
Do you think that he would have the ability to possibly fix the control panel even though it's been broken?
Provided you destroyed it correctly, I highly doubt he'd be able to restore the power source required to power the thing.
There's an incorrect way to destroy things.
The teleporter in particular, yes.
Oh, good.
Very well.
However, we've confirmed that The command center for that teleporter is in fact in Alprobel, so you did a good job.
Yeah.
But theoretically, he could possibly find another way.
If he could devise an alternate power source, yes, though a power source capable of generating enough energy to power the thing, not very common.
Understood.
This isn't the kind of thing you exactly MacGyver up.
Who?
A what?
MacGyver, he was a mythical figure from the before times, if I remember correctly. He was a collector of old odd ends, and he would put them to use in quite ingenious ways.
Huh.
Understood. I will have to do some research on him.
Understood. Okay, then. Well, maybe it might be best if we got going now, just to. Oh, wait. Stairs at Ralakan. Or toward Ralakan.
Maybe we should, in fact, rest for the night, because we did just get back from hell.
We should also think about
Hey.
getting you a blood supply.
I don't know. Given what I've been through, it was actually rather nice to visit home for a little while.
Take a day of R&R. See if this thing takes or not. And we will go forth from there.
Okay.
You guys are escorted out of the way station. And the guards ask you if you'd like a ride back to the hotel.
Oh,
Which is my way of asking, is there anything you guys want to do before going back to the hotel and going to sleep?
May we have our silverware, please?
They return your items.
Thank you kindly.
I'm sorry, what you called it silverware.
Like, what time of day is it?
At this point, the sun is sort of like finishing setting.
Okay. Is there anything anyone else wanted to do?
Other than get to V6 and get a little bit more information and potentially link with them, I think our day is about finished. We could potentially do that tomorrow.
I think tomorrow might be the best course of action.
Okay. If you could give us a ride back to the hotel, that would be nice. Thank you.
Mhm. And they immediately draw up a car to take you out.
Sorry, just to confirm, was it decided we were going to go deal with Alzin for Vedran
Yes.
while I was getting
that was
something
the
to eat?
idea, was
Okay,
that
perfect.
we were going to go deal with Alzin while Vedran was going to go set an appointment with Kieran.
Okay.
Personally, in my thought process, the faster we can try and save as many people in Madengard as we can from that madman, the better.
Mhm.
And hope and pray he hasn't killed all of them yet.
Right.
Yep.
Because we have been kind of letting that one go a bit.
Yeah, we definitely need to handle that. Okay. Well, in that case, yeah, no, going back to the hotel is probably our best bet.
Mhm.
And just to confirm,
Mhm.
in terms of vampire money, we got the just 5 white files, right?
Mhm. You have been told that they are the largest unit of currency on the island.
Cool. We're probably going to have to find out if people drink their currency,
Does
especially now that we have a vampire.
Yeah.
Alex,
Mhm.
does this mean that I'm premium currency?
Oliver.
I'm very glad that you're not a druid. Because if you had made that premium currency joke as a druid, I would have had to ask you if you dropped Groot boxes. It's premium currency. Hey, it's nothing to shake a stick at.
Where's my shaking stick?
Where's my mallet? I'm gonna go to my brother's room and borrow his sword.
Okay. Then I guess we will pay for our room using the currency.
Actually, you guys have already arranged for that. Remember, you guys still have like another week and a half of board here.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Okay, then. Yeah, I guess we'll just head up to our room then and try not to think too much about what's exactly going to happen next.
Especially to our dear friend Rao.
Man. Okay. Long Modesto. And Spaz.
Uh-huh.
A wisdom saving throw, if any you don't mind.
Oh, I'm not good at those.
You're a ranger.
I should probably state, when we sleep, Jason does go in sentry mode in the foyer.
Cool. 15.
Okay. First off, Spaz. What stat bonuses are afforded to you as a Simic hybrid?
That is a good question. Let me just do a thing here and I will find out for you. I get +2 con and +1 other.
Whatever you have whatever stat bonuses you get as a Simic Hybrid, please apply them retroactively to your ability scores and to change your race to Vampire. You will maintain your Simic Hybrid feats because you're still a Simic Hybrid. However, there's a lot of Vampire feats.
Okay, we'll work on that later. We'll work on that later. That's a headache for another day.
I'll do it now. Don't worry about it. I'll do it. I'm the DM. I can take 2 minutes and check this out.
Well, if we're taking these 2 minutes to do my character sheet, I will use this as an opportunity to drink some water. Or
There's
rather,
no
get some
H
water.
in the word. Why are you saying it like that?
So, how are you holding up? Because I'm a potato.
Oh, good. My slow clap processor made it in this thing.
So we have that. Spaz, I am going to send you a copy of the list of animal enhancements, just so you remember that you have Mantiglide and Acid Spit. And I'm just sending you that before I change your race in the thing.
Cool.
Selecto new race! Vampire.
Short life expectancy. Really needing to sink your teeth into new opportunities? Try vampirism!
You will no longer have a short life expectancy. But
Only
the trade-off is that you will need to feed from other living beings to maintain your existence. Or you risk
Reload
going
your
feral.
character sheet, Ralagan.
It's a bloody good time.
Oh man,
Oh,
I can't wait to update the cards so it says Vampiric Simic Hybrid.
Spaz, pay no attention to all those D's.
Wait! This is mentioned everything! Hold on!
That's only in direct sunlight.
What? So if it were a cap, I'm good, right?
It's New York.
Hi.
How are you from New York and say something with that much cap?
Oh my god. Every
On
single
God?
one of these skills are
On
fucking
Yeezy?
at disadvantage. What the fuck?
On your Tim's, dog?
Bro, I swear on my Jordans. Fuck out of here.
Nah, fam. Veteran's armor has gold-plated Tims. Because he is a New York man.
I'm a... I'm asleep. Gold-plated Tims, what do you mean?
Sometimes you just need gold-plated Tims. What do you want?
Okay.
Ralakan, you dream about the river. The river is almost gentle in its flow towards an inevitable center. You can see the orb at the forefront of your mind, no matter where you look, no matter which of the myriad pathways the blood takes as it flows through and around everything. It feels as though your very existence is pulled towards this thing. Like it is something more than what it is, more than a heart, but something within. And as you reach out to touch it, as your path through the river of blood makes its end, your eyes open, and you are in the breeding pool.
Better love story than Twilight.
Well, that's interesting.
How's everybody else feeling this fine morning?
Where are you,
Jason is
Ralakan?
feeling. Jason.
Jason is an automaton and cannot therefore have feelings.
He's getting there.
Proud of him. We might eventually get him to the point where he understands and uses sarcasm.
I wouldn't go that far.
A part of me really wants to get it that far. Tim, you look like you're about to say something.
Yeah, no, I would say that Cross is just concerned. Very much concerned about Ralakan, concerned about everything else. Concerned about Venelin. He just seems overly concerned this morning. And doesn't really know how to express that, so he just kind of sits there and seems to just be very uncharacteristically quiet.
Madeline, your mind kind of wanders backwards to Vedran for a moment. Particularly the somewhat familiar and nostalgic tone with which he specifically referred to generations of your family hunting down his kind.
Well, it's good to know that I wasn't the only one in the family.
Hmm.
Although she really wants to ask who. If it went past, like, Aethlin. And how far back it goes.
Hmm. So, plan of action?
Stop Alison.
Yeah, we have
Yeah.
to stop Allison.
Guess we're going to probably best to reach Vanguard first, see if there's a way to get to Alzum. That's better than just teleporting into where he wants us to teleport.
Yeah.
Maybe Jason will get a power boost. Who knows?
Maybe.
Maybe.
Um,
Maybe get Ralakan some blood on hand. That's not premium, super fancy blood.
that might be a good one. Because I'm not sure if me and Venlin are okay with the idea of.
Listen, if there's blood if there's a nice, healthy supply of criminals that may or may not be willing, I don't want to take from innocent people.
Do you need to feed Ralakan?
I know.
No.
Breakfast, like the past couple of days, is brought up to your rooms. And while everyone else is treated to quite the lavish set of breakfasts, Ralakan has brought up 2 large turkey legs and a wooden box.
What's in the box?
You open the box. The box has a card on top that reads, "Welcome package." And opening it reveals 5 vials of blood. They are topped with wood rather than the ones that you have seen that were capped in bronze, silver, gold, or that white. The inside of the box says that this has been aged for several years.
A part of me wants to cut off my own tongue so I don't have a sense of taste.
You just regenerated.
Fuck! This is how I'm gonna treat blood. I'm going to treat blood as rations, no matter how premium, no matter how mundane it is. And like a Cold War, a post-apocalypse scenario, I'm going to ration the rations. So unless I am IRL dying of starvation, I'm not popping these bitches.
Seems incredibly dangerous.
Plus, they might be tasty.
See, that's the thing he's most afraid of, that he might like it.
Yeah, that's basically it. I don't want to turn into the literal thing that Venel... I've already turned into the literal thing that Venelin has sworn to obliterate from this fucking existence. I don't want to give her a reason to expedite the process.
But I like to think that
I
you
don't
hear
want her
that
to
as
send
you're
me
getting
a
your coffee.
Nosferatu next day shipping.
I love how you truly care about Venelin's opinion. You know, the one main vampire huntress of the group. When my existence alone is the bane of vampires.
Like,
Yes.
literally,
I
Nancy
punch
just...
them and they explode.
But I have actively entrusted my heart, the thing of my destruction, to Venelin.
True.
Oh,
I am
that's
quite
so
literally
sweet.
a flying fish bat on a leash.
I like it. I like it.
Lucas, I'm gonna have to make a commission.
I'm not gonna lie.
Flying fish bat, absolutely $60.
Oh, no.
I am renaming this episode "Flying Fish Bat on a Leash."
Why am I like this?
Holy fuck.
Oh, I'm getting on there right now.
Anyway, so yes, we should go find V6.
Yes!
No, I hate
Let's do that.
We will eat the protein flatbreads, we'll eat the pancakes, and Is Ralakan going to...
I'll have the turkey legs. And nothing else.
Okay.
I'm sorry if I interrupted you, but did I answer your question?
No, that was fine. Don't worry about it. Everything's fine. Everything is not. Okay. So, after a hearty breakfast, we go off and try and find out where V6 is holed up and doing whatever the hell
Go to
robot
Central Park.
automatron PBs do. Automatons do. We walk our way up toward
Mm-hmm.
the centralist of parks.
You get to Central Park around 10 a.m. Or rather, the southern tip of Central Park, which is at like the edge of the island. And there you can see an automaton that bears almost an identical resemblance to Jason. Their armor is significantly more ornate, sort of more flowing in concentric patterns, and definitely more complete than what Jason's wearing right now, where his armor mostly really only covers his like chest and the upper parts of his legs and arms. And he is kitted out in a series of weapons. Just lots and lots of weapons. All the weapons. As well as a very thick, heavy shield along his left forearm.
This seems to be V6, the Vanguard.
And he immediately turns upon us like, I was told you were coming, mate.
Hello. Ah,
And you are his
Then-
compatriots, I take it.
absolutely. These are my friends, Ralokan, Ross, and Benelin.
Lord Venrins requested that I provide you with any information you may need regarding your campaign to finally take out Alzum.
Wonderful, that would be most helpful. First of all, we do understand that there is no feasible way of getting into the Colosseum where Alzum resides without, well, falling into their traps. Would you happen to know of an easier way, or at least a more efficient way of getting in?
Well, let's look at the options. The various entrances and exits are all cordoned off by our guards, meaning on the one hand they can't get out, but on the other they are some of the most defended points in the building for anybody trying to get in. The only other entrances would be by teleporting in from up here or from the glass tower. However, that would put you in the least defended area of the entire complex. There's the option of entering from the tunnels. However, doing so would put you in yet another highly defended area. There is a fourth option, however, it is quite experimental and possibly risky. However, your new vampire friend here might find it a bit familiar.
Say what now?
You're a Manta hybrid, are you not?
Yep.
Meaning you should find this rather interesting. And he pulls out what looks like a large roll-up that you would see on like a military backpack. And he kind of tosses it in the direction of Venolin.
I'm gonna immediately start going through the backpack.
It's just the roll-up.
Okay.
And the roll-up, though it looks a bit like a blanket at first touch, looks like one of those like wardrobe bags that you would keep a large coat in or suit.
Like a garment bag.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And as you unzip it, it appears to contain what looks like a bodysuit of some kind.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, it appears that any sort of ground assault on the Colosseum is going to prove quite difficult for such a defended complex. As such, and he pulls out a second one, tossing it in the direction of Jason. I would suggest an approach from the air.
Understood.
And he tosses a third one across. I like to think the cross let that hit him for comedic effect.
Yeah.
Redlin, from your experience with Ralakan, it does not take you long to realize this is a wingsuit.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that seems like a wonderful idea.
Jason's going to analyze the wingsuit and see if it is possible to fit it on his frame.
Oh, fuck that. No. No. I've just realized something more important.
Mm-hmm.
We're all becoming birds?
No. How much does weigh?
What?
Oh.
How much does Jason weigh?
Oh, several hundred pounds. Which is why that one is not for him. It's for you.
Oh, can A, I carry that, B, he actively used the wingsuit, and...
That wingsuit is for you. He doesn't ask you to carry it because you're in direct sunlight. Meaning you are, currently a not strong boy.
I feel like I got the Pfizer shot in both of my arms.
I've got something different in mind for you, Jason. And you guys all hear what almost sounds like the pawing of a very large bird, if put through a vocoder, as something behind you swoops down and latches onto Jason's shoulders. You guys turn around and see this massive winged mass of what almost looks like wings, but upon close inspection, since you're all very close to him, appear to be very much mesh and fiber cabling. And the moment that its sort of claws latch onto Jason's shoulders, it immediately collapses around Jason's shoulders and down his back, much like a cloak.
Hi, is this?
A message immediately flashes across your HUD. V5 Vector Synergy successful.
So this must be the integration that Veteran was talking about. Fascinating.
He's authorized Vector to be lent to you for the duration of this mission.
In the words of the great Pope John Paul II, I hate it here.
I kind of love it. Holy shit.
What 2d8 psychic damage looks like in real life.
Me. Just me. Every time you boom me with something like that. It's like...
Oh god, why am I like this?
So, whenever you're ready, and he kind of like nods at the edge of the island.
I mean, Venlin is gonna quickly get this wingsuit on, and then is immediately asking questions about how it works.
I have several questions too.
Essentially, you open your arms kind of like this, and your legs as well. And you can see from his frame that like a series of mesh cabling kind of links his limbs together, very similar to the wingsuit. The mesh should enable you to achieve at least a light lift to both slow your fall and give you enough aerodynamics to actually direct your descent towards the Colosseum.
Okay.
Each wingsuit is equipped with a parachute. Do not pull it too early. Otherwise, you are in for a very slow ride.
Oh man,
I presume when V5 integrated with me, basically the instructions just came with it.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. You've basically got wings.
Wonderful. I love it. I love it here.
The cloak that is V5 at the moment will turn into wings on command.
Understood.
The wings are very wide, so be careful. You've got about a 30-foot wingspan.
Holy crap.
You need it in order to, like, make something as big and heavy as you float.
Did Jason just become Vulture?
Yes.
Yeah!
Yeah.
That's okay. I thought we were getting falcon wings.
He's V9, the Vulture.
God damn it.
But in any case, I think ending session with you guys literally jumping off the side of New Manhattan is nice.
I like it.
I agree.
I'm blind!
We have a lead. It's fine. We have a special. No. IRL in situations like this, what would happen is like you would be attached to a jumper.
Yeah, you would be attached by a lead to somebody. In this case, probably Jason.
Yeah.
So now I'm just his personal K. Lovely. Okay, sure. Why not? I like this plan. I'm excited to be a part of it.
Great.
The fact that you're blind, minor inconvenience. 'Tis but a flesh wound.
Alternatively, his chassis can just open up and you can just crawl inside it, curl up in a little ball.
Oh yeah, like with Gassan. Oh man. In any case, that's going to conclude our session for today. As always, we would love to thank our sponsors. First off, D&D Beyond. D, the letter N, D, Beyond.com. A massive repository for all things 5th edition, as well as a sprawling homebrew compendium to add to or use for yourself for a small subscription fee. We use their overlay prior to switching to Slobs, and it is very, very user-friendly. As well as Lucky Dice Cafe and Liquor Express. If you're looking for some fun live or online DMing, please visit either of those two locations and book an appointment with our head DM, Heath, who is just an absolute wonderful human being and is not paying me to say that. So, speaking of Heath, when's season 2 of the Troubleshooters, Maddie?
Monday.
Monday starts season 2 of the Troubleshooters. A wonderful campaign. Set in the roaring 20s. Not these 20s. These 20s are the whimpering 20s.
These 20s.
No. These 20s suck, and not in a good way. Tuesday, the world at war. I don't know what's going on in that still. I don't think any of us know what's going on in that still. But if it's anything like the 5th Call of Duty game, it's probably great. Anything happening on Wednesday? Is JT doing something on Wednesday?
Not as far as we know, but that's probably still in the works.
Wonderful. Thursday, we have episode 2 of Maddie's new campaign, her personal homebrew that she's been working on for 11 bajillion years. If you don't like it, she may curl up into a ball.
It's a damn good campaign.
It is a damn good campaign. It's a Knight's Ransom. It's going to be great. I've played it myself. It's rather fun.
You know, it's got the green dog.
Last I checked, they accidentally went to dinner with God. So, they ended up at a dinner table with a bunch of people. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be fun.
They wound up at a dinner table with each other, and the one of them wasn't happy about it because he is.
And that's dinner table polyamory for you. So, Friday, well-deserved R&R. As all of us need. And Saturday, we will be right back here in Stolen Cities, where our party is wingsuiting down from New Manhattan to assault the Colosseum in the hands of their former adversary, Alzin. Thank you all for coming by and joining us on this adventure. And as always, wash your hands, wear a mask, get fucking vaccinated. Be kind to one another. And remember to roar for initiative. Have a great night.